What's going on, everybody? This is a video I've attempted to make a few times the last couple weeks. It's kind of controversial, but it's something kind of near and dear to my heart, and I just kind of want to discuss it. There's been a lot of talk on social media lately about the struggles within Major League Fishing and BFL turnout and payouts and all that stuff. I just kind of want to give my 2 cents on it. I'll just go back to where people first started, I guess, hating on Major League Fishing. Back when it was a TV show, strictly, on the Outdoor Channel stuff, people loved it. I mean, it was a very must-watch event and show and all this. And when the Bass Pro Tour came along, I think a lot of people got upset at the amount of anglers that went to the Bass Pro Tour from the Bassmaster Elite Series, and then at the time the FLW Tour. But you have to understand, guys, they were pitched a entry fee-less tournament trail where they no longer had to pay entry fees and stuff like that. So I mean, it was felt like a golden opportunity for all them anglers to be able to just jump ship and go and actually make ends meet for their families more. So you kind of can't hold that against them. I mean, I don't know why anybody would ever hold anybody against being able to provide for their family more. But anyway, the Bass Pro Tour side of it and all that is a whole different story. I mean, there's the controversies about Boyd Duckett still being eligible and all that, and everybody can have their own opinions about that, but that's not kind of the purpose of this video. I mainly want to focus on the BFLs and the Toyota series. So, you had FLW get bought out by Major League Fishing. And to be honest, guys, a lot of the same personnel who were in charge of the BFLs, Toyota series, the FLW Tour are pretty much still within the company today. Like, nothing like on that side has really changed a whole lot. You have a lot of the same tournament directors. You have a lot of the same, people like that. I'm sure you have people in smaller roles that have changed and stuff like that. But a lot of the bigger roles are still kind of there. And even if, like, say someone bigger has stepped into a more higher up role or still involved with the company, just like, they're still involved. They're still involved with the company and still making decisions that impact us anglers. So, like I heard a guy say, man, I miss the FLW Tour, but I hate, MLF. Well, the MLF Big Five, or whatever you want to call it, is basically the FLW Tour just it is just FLW rebranded. So to me, that seems kind of hypocritical, but, forward-facing sonar is a big reason why turnouts have been the way they have been. Co-angler turnout was starting to be down because, I mean, I'll be honest, as a co-angler, and somebody might say, oh, your opinion don't matter, you've only fished as a co-angler in the MLF or whatever, that's fine, take it for what you want, but fishing as a co-angler for several years now, it's not fun when I'm down on Dale Hollow in 90 foot of water and we're chasing schools of white bass and my boater thinks they're largemouth or smallmouth. That's not fun. So I understand 100% why a co-angler turnout was down. I'm not against live scope. I think it's a great tool. I think it's awesome. I think it's kind of interesting what Major League Fishing's done because it seems kind of fair to boaters and co-anglers. And to be honest, the BFLs wouldn't survive without co-anglers. Neither probably with the Toyota series. It's the only way. There's no way they could afford to do polygraphs and stuff like that. It'd just be impossible. So it's about the only way to have any sort of honor system to make sure that they can, keep people in check. And also, too, just people like me that, I had a bass boat at one point and transom went out on it. And it was right before I was starting to, get heavy into fishing tournaments. And, now life has happened and I've not been able to buy another bass boat. But it has allowed me to get out and experience tournaments and stuff again. I've had a blast doing it. So, it's just a great opportunity for guys that don't have boats and just want to get experience and stuff like that too. And there's other options out there if you don't want to have co-anglers and stuff like that. But really, I just fished the Illini Division tournament on Ren Lake just a couple days ago, and they say turnout's down. Well, it was up 22 boats from the first tournament of last year. So, we've had that's a pretty big jump, 22 boats, from year to year. And payouts, people are saying payouts are down. Well, the thing is, they lowered entry fees because people were talking about it being too high of entry fees. They picked up some more sponsorships so they could lower entry fees, and now people are complaining about payouts, but the problem is people aren't showing up to fish. If you want a higher payout, the more people need to show up and fish. That's the honest truth. Like, the percentage of the payback is up, and, it's just people aren't wanting to show up because they're all mad about the forward-facing sonar and stuff. And I get it. I mean, you spend $10,000 on electronics, you're going to want to use them and stuff, but it ain't like MLF took your right away to use them, and I don't think they should. But I do think it's a good compromise. Maybe they need to go to 4 hours instead of 3. I don't know what the thing is. I mean, personally, if I knew LiveScope would be this big of a deal, I wish it would have got banned altogether, and it never would have been a thing. Or just, I shouldn't say banned. I wish it never would have been invented. That's a better way to put it. I don't think it should be banned now because electronic companies pour way too much sponsorship dollars and stuff into tournament trails and all that. But I just wish it was never invented. I mean, honestly, it is destroying the sport of bass fishing, not because of what it is, but because of how people bicker about it and are wanting to see tournament trails fail because of it and stuff. And I just think that's ridiculous. Anybody that says that BFLs should go bankrupt or they can't stand Major League Fishing or whatever, why? I mean, honestly, having Major League Fishing, the MPFL, Bassmaster, all that does is gives more anglers a platform to try to pursue their dream of fishing professionally. There's not a guy out there on the lake who you could go to and say, man, how would you like to fish full time? Every one of them would say, oh, that'd be awesome. Now, there's probably maybe a handful that might say something, that just out there for fun, but most people would love the opportunity to fish professionally. And the more trails you have out there, the more chances you can do that. And the reality is Major League Fishing offers the best path for an angler to live out their dream. You have the BFLs. Let's even back up. You can start on high school to the college to the BFLs to the Toyota Series to the Pro Tour to the Bass, or from the Pro Circuit or whatever to the Bass Pro Tour. I mean, that is a well-constructed path that an angler could take to follow their dream of fishing professionally. MPFL currently does not offer that. There's strictly no forward-facing sonar, so I'm sure a lot of people don't like that either. But they offer no grassroots series. I've heard kind of rumors that they're thinking about starting something like that, but currently there is no path that way. Bassmaster is a little more complicated. At one point, you had the Nation, then you had the Nation, the Opens, and then the Elite Series. Well, now you can go to the Opens, but then you got to qualify for the EQs to then qualify for the Elite Series, and that is a tough path. I mean, that is a really tough and expensive path, and you got to go to like these tournaments all across the country. Like, you might be in Alabama one tournament, have to go to New York the next to try to qualify for the EQs to then qualify for the Elite Series. And where Major League Fishing, you can fish the BFLs and then fish the Toyotas. The Toyotas, there's divisions all across the country. I could fish 3 Toyota events within like 5 hours of my house and could qualify for the Pro Circuit through the Toyotas. There's no other tournament organization out there that gives anglers the path that MLF does. And I'm not saying I agree 100% with everything MLF has ever done. There's actually quite a bit of things I disagree with. But I don't understand the hate and why people want to see Major League Fishing go bankrupt. It makes no sense to me. Why people hate on it so bad, and they're like, oh, don't show up to the BFLs, they're a fraud, they're a scam, they're all this. It just don't make no sense. They're fun, they're not expensive. You have to remind yourself, they are a BFL. They're $200 entry fee. We're not fishing the Bassmaster Classic, on one Saturday out of 5 months of the year. You're fishing a $200 entry fee tournament. You're not fishing a $2,500 entry fee tournament. So, as much as they're fun to fish and they're awesome and they give you a big platform with the stage and the live feed and all that, you have to kind of give yourself a reality check too that you're fishing a BFL. It's not the Classic. So it's not, I should say, it's not that serious. To a lot of guys it's serious, and there's serious money involved, and you want to win, you want to do well, but it's not, fishing a BFL is not going to probably determine if you feed your family or not, is what I'm getting at. But the problem is there's a bunch of people that work within Major League Fishing, the tournament directors, the support staff, the whatever, that feed their families through Major League Fishing. So to sit here and say, oh, they need to go bankrupt just because I don't get to use my forward-facing sonar 8 hours instead of 3 is kind of crap, to be honest. And I don't agree with that 100%. Like I said, I'm not saying there shouldn't be changes. I'm not saying there should be that. But when I see posts on Facebook saying that, I'm sorry, but your top 10 in a 60 boat field isn't serious, or you don't need to be proud of that, or Major League Fishing needs to go bankrupt, or people need to stop showing up to Major League Fishing events and stuff. That's just all, it's ridiculous, guys. It's immature. It's ridiculous. I'm not wanting to try to sound like one of them YouTubers that get on here and rant about everything, but Major League Fishing is where I first kind of started. I mean, it's kind of where this channel started taking off when I started filming videos as a co-angler. It's kind of just part of who I am, honestly. And I mean, it was started out when I first started, it was FLW still, but just soon after, when I first started fishing as a co-angler, it switched to Major League Fishing. And on the lower end of it, like I said, basically the rebranded FLW side of it really means a lot to me. And I definitely want to see it succeed and continue, because here's the deal. If you want to see Major League Fishing go bankrupt, well, congratulations. You just made it much harder on a lot of anglers to ever live out their dreams of becoming a pro bass fisherman. So that's basically all that does. I mean, guys like me, I'm not well off, wealthy, rich. I'm not, I don't have the money to go out and buy a $100,000 bass boat and fish all over the country doing the opens or whatever to do that. I don't have that money. So the opportunity that Major League Fishing, it gives me hope, is a rural, Illinois fisherman that works a standard 40-hour-a-week job, that I can work my way up through the ranks and hopefully one day, fish professionally. Major League Fishing offers that to me now to where no other tour does. So that's why I'm so willing to defend it, because there's a lot of guys out there just like me, and even if guys are frustrated, it's one of those things that if it would ever go bankrupt or end or whatever, they'd probably realize, how big of a mistake that really was for that to happen. Because you want to talk about a lot of guys that won't have a platform to fish anymore. I mean, you're talking about a lot of guys. You will have way more anglers than what the opens and stuff like that could probably hold. So, but being able to spread it out and allow as many people as possible to follow their dreams is pretty important. So, like I said, I really don't like making these types of videos and stuff. I really don't like ranting and, kind of act like I'm preaching to you guys, but I just feel like it's kind of important to get out there. And I don't feel like enough people are really talking about it. There's people making Facebook posts about it, but nobody's really sitting down and giving any rational opinion about it and stuff. And hopefully this seems rational. I don't know. I probably won't know until I go back and watch this, but just want to get my 2 cents. So drop your comments below. I'm not going to be one of the people, if you disagree with me in the comments, I'm not going to argue with you. Everybody's got their opinions. I'm an adult. If you disagree with me, that's great. I'm glad you have your own opinion. You're not right or wrong, and I'm not right or wrong. It's just, how it is. So, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. So if you drop a comment, hit that thumbs up button. Please hit that subscribe button. And most importantly, guys, let's go out there and have fun and catch a bunch of fish. I mean, that's honestly, at the end of the day, we all love bass fishing. We're all passionate about it. And, I just want to see as many tournament trails succeed as possible. I wish more tournament trails would honestly rise up and be successful. I mean, I would love for there to be 50 different organizations that give you a platform to fish professionally. So, can't see that being the case. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. So stay tuned for more episodes. God bless you. See you next time.